This is Dungeon Thrasher Lenny Blade, and this is the Dungeons and Thrashers show from Korat out of northeastern Thailand. So in this episode, I for no apparent reason, I thought I would document what's going on and what is happening, what happens during a session with our local tabletop role-playing game group, the Korat Fellowship. Now, we've had about 20 or so members throughout the 2 years, a little over 2 years I think we've been active. And as the current Dungeon Master, I will also show a little bit how I prepare stuff, and then just show you a little bit what's going on. There's going to be a lot of snacks, and there's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of killing of monsters and things like that. So let's get to it.
So I mentioned that I'm the current Dungeon Master of the Korat Fellowship, and that's true. I haven't been the Dungeon Master the whole time. Just before we started this campaign that we're playing now, the Curse of Strahd, aka the Ravenloft campaign, we actually started playing with another Dungeon Master, Daniel from Chiang Mai, but he had to move back there for work, and that's the reason why many of the members of the Fellowship left the Fellowship, is because of work, because many expats that live here work here as teachers or what have you. So as an expat, when you change jobs, you sometimes change cities as well. So that's the main reason for people leaving. So that was me picking out all the materials I will use. The first thing I do is obviously I read through the module, especially if you're playing a pre-written adventure module. And then I simply take notes. I tend to divide my notes into two sections, narrative and encounter notes, and they're self-explanatory, I guess. So first, the story notes. I write down all the non-player characters that I think that they will meet, and all the story hooks and things like that, descriptions of places, that kind of stuff. And then the encounter section, I write down the information about all the monsters, or and maybe treasure that they will find, or notes about the dungeons in general. So when I am done with that, like now it's a little bit later in the evening, and the people start arriving, my players start arriving. So the first one arriving here is Kennedy, who plays a Water Genasi, a monk called Vislet. He was the last one to join the current group. So and he always brings a lot of snacks. We all bring snacks to these sessions, which is both good and bad, obviously. Some of us drink beer. I drink beer sometimes. John drinks beer every time. Okay. And here's the second player arriving here. This is Ellen. Hi. And she plays a half-elf paladin called Selandith.
Yes.
Nice.
And then we have Tatum, which is the only Thai player in the group, and he is just arriving now, and he plays a human fighter called Misty. And if anyone in Korat is interested in trying out Dungeons and Dragons, Tatum actually distribute the books and other accessories of the Dungeons and Dragons game, so you can contact him for more information. I will put his information in the back of the episode towards the end of the episode. And here is John joining us online. Yeah, and he's joining us online because he has a baby at home, so he's a little bit more careful than the rest of us. He doesn't want to play face to face, which, you know, I can appreciate that for sure. We've actually been playing online for a couple of months during the first COVID outbreak, when we were playing in a Middle-earth campaign. So yeah, so let's take a look at what can happen.